Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of 365 Days of Gaming. Appreciate you taking our time to check out this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. All things greatly appreciated. We talked about a whole different types of games, but we haven't talked about card games. And there's one card game in particular that I played a lot of back in the day, and that's Yugi Oh. But my favorite version of this game is Yugi Oh! Duelist of the Roses for the PlayStation 2. Now, I picked this game because, one, the monsters actually fight each other like on the anime, right? So you get to see the creatures actually interact with each other that I thought was really, really cool. It also has this really cool fusion system where you don't have to use a polymorph or whatever is polymerization in order to combine the cards. You just pick 2 cards or 3 cards and you fuse them together if they're compatible, and you create a new monster just for that particular battle. So it doesn't add to your library, but you make different combinations to kind of pad out your deck or pull you out of some tough situations. One thing I forgot about this game is it takes a long time to start, but also it is hard. Like, the duelists in this game are not here to help you out. They are here to give you the business. Now, the story is a little liberal with some historical context and things like that, where it's the French versus the English. And, it's a lot of stuff going on from the 1480s, but without, bogging you down with too much of that, this is Yugi Oh! This is about the cards, the heart of the cards, picking the right card for the right situation. And they always have the right cards for the right situation. The tutorial is kind of long, so we're not going to really look too much at that. But what I wanted you to see is when you start actually competing, you get on the battlefield and you move your cards around, and based on the terrain, you can get bonuses. Based on the different creatures going against each other, as far as elemental types, you may get some bonuses out of that. So there's a lot of depth to this game, and this is a trial and error type of game. Like, you are not going to come out of here guns blazing, just running through all the computers. You have to build up your deck. The deck point system really matters. Like, if somebody has a way higher deck point rating than you, you probably can't beat them. So it is very important to build up to it. And I tried to go too fast. I was living on the edge, and as you're going to see in some of these clips, I get the business handed to me. I think I ended up being like 1-3 out of the 4 matches I tried to play, but it was still fun, just like I remember. It's just, it requires a certain level of commitment that I don't think I have anymore. But it's essentially, if you watch the anime, right, it's all the characters, and there's 2 sides now. There's the red roses, which is like basically all of the Yugi team, and then the white roses, which is like all of Seto Kaiba's people and people that were around, like Pegasus and Bandit Keith and all those type of people. So, you get a mix of the anime nostalgia, but you get a variation on how to play. And I always thought Yu-Gi-Oh! Took a lot of chances with that. Like, they had the Dungeon Dice Monsters game, and they were always more ready to try something out of the box, whereas Pokemon, it took a long time. Like, the card game was the first variation of the Pokemon, and that was pretty much the only variation we had for a long time. So it was really cool. Like I said, one of the biggest things is like seeing each different card monsters attack or creatures attack and trying to see what the different animations are. I thought that was really a cool feature. I also have a very interesting story about this game. So my friend Marquise introduced me to this game because he was always one of the people that would like pick games based on licensed things way before I would. There was a period where if something was based on like a movie or based on an anime, I was really apprehensive, besides stuff like Dragon Ball. So I would have never given this a shot had he not said anything, and he bought the game first. But there was a guy in my class who I told about the game. I'm like, yo, I got this Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. It's really different. It's pretty fun. You should try it out. And I let him borrow the game. And then by that weekend, he's like, hey man, we should play against each other. And I'm like, well, you've only been playing the game for like a week or so. I'm pretty sure you're not ready for this problems, because my deck was pretty good. I had beat the game and everything. And he comes over and he puts his memory card in, and I'm seeing the cards in his deck, and I'm like, bro, there's no way you earned those cards. So what he did was he had a Game Shark, and he just gave himself like every card, like cards you're not even supposed to technically have in the game, or you can't technically unlock during the story mode. He just had, and he was like, oh yeah, my deck is ready. And it was just high cards. So rather than be like, nah, I'm not even gonna play, I decided to basically build a deck that stopped him from being able to use those cards. Like I would just rush him down early, or my cards had the if you kill this monster in battle, it kills the monster that killed it type of things. And I end up pulling out, you know, victory, and I was like, okay, I'm not playing again, because it was still really close, and I don't think I would have had the same luck in the next match. But it was funny because I'm like, come on, man, you didn't have to cheat. You could have just, you know, grinded it out like I did and built your deck up. But, you know, he tried to pull the shortcut, and it didn't work in his favor. And I refused to rematch him after that because I didn't want to lose to the juiced up deck. But I always thought that was kind of funny. Like he went out of his way to kind of cheat to try to, you know, instead of just playing the game, because this game does require you to put some time in. You're not just gonna win. You got to put that work in, and it's not for everybody. You know, sometimes the harder the cards is really just grinding it out, and that's what this game kind of represented. Where you could eventually be good, but it wasn't gonna come easy. And I always liked that about this game. So I liked it, and I thought this would be a cool Yu-Gi-Oh game to kind of introduce you all to. So when we talk about Yu-Gi-Oh, you know where we're coming from. But as always, I appreciate you taking out time to check out this video. Be safe, have fun,